Okay, so yeah, so the first question is about the ASCII number system. So it is asking if character M is represented in ASCII table as 109 in decimal number. Write down the binary representation of word no using 7-bit for each character. All right, so if it is ASCII, we know that the characters are going to be in an order, right? So if M is assigned to be 109, then after the M, N and O will be found. So 109, so N is going to be 110, O is going to be 111, right? So what we have to do is, like, we have to convert the 110 and 111 into the binaries. Then we can quickly write what's the ASCII representation for no. All right. So if you take 110, you can convert the 110. How? By doing the simple calculation. Right. So let's say 110. Oh, where did it brought me? Oops, that's not good. People, hold on a second. Okay, so yes, so 110 will be divided by 2, so it's going to be 55. No remainders, doing 2 again, so it's going to be 27. 1 is remaining, 22, 13, 1 is remaining, and 22 again, 6, 1 is remaining, 3, no remainders, and 1 is remaining. Yeah, let me recheck this. It's like 55, no 0, it's 27, 1 is remaining, 113, yes, 6, 3, yes, yeah. So 110 gives you this. So if the word is no, this is 110 and this is 111. So 110, it's going to be 1101110. This is 110. So it's pretty obvious that we can write the 111, because if this is 110, if I add a 1 to this particular position, it's going to show you 111. So these part will be the same, right? So the 111, the word O is going to be 110, 111, and 1. Right? 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Yes, yes, yeah. So this is going to be the ASCII code for the no word. Right, so check whether you got it. Let's confirm this with the marking scheme as well. All right, there you go. So yeah, it's the same answer that we took. It's 110, 1110. So 110, 111, and 1. So 2 marks is there for the first part of the first question. So the second question. Yes, right. So the second question is about the circuit. Consider the following simplified logic circuit, which is designed to switch on a ceiling fan when the temperature is high while the power switch is on. Write down 2 relevant logic gates for the P and Q. So first of all, we have to recognize how the scenario is going to go. So the scenario is happening. Consider the following. It says switch on a ceiling fan. So the purpose is switching on the ceiling fan. And how it's going to be, the temperature is high while the power switch is on, right? So when power switch is on, it is given 1 from here. When temperature is high, it is providing 0 over here. So if the ceiling fans to be on, it's going to be a 1, right? And for the ceiling fan to be on, both the condition should happen together. That means temperature is high and power switch is on. Both should be satisfied, right? So that means we can simply write a simple equation using this. So we can say something like this. Fan is on when switch is on and temperature is high, right? So this kind of an equation, I can turn this, like if I take fan as F, so on position of the fan can indicate by F, because fan on means equals to 1. And switch is on, again I can indicate switch is on by S, because S is the one which indicates 1 on the switch. Temperature is high means it indicates a 0. This indicates a 0. So if the temperature is T, 0 indicates T bar. right? So I can simply say F equals, so the fan on is equals switch and temperature, switch is on and temperature is hot or temperature is high. So that gives me S dot T bar, right? So that means this is going to be the P is going to be what? AND gate. And Q is going to be a NOT gate. Why it is going to be a NOT gate? Because if T comes from here, this is supposed to be T bar. When S comes from here, this is going to be anyway S. So this will give you S dot T bar. Okay, is that clear, everyone? Okay. So if you figure that out, P and Q is like P is an AND gate, Q is a NOT gate, you are given 1 mark. Then the part B says, consider the following simplified circuit of a washing machine. And it is in the following is the truth table equivalent to the above logic circuit. Write down the labels from A to H and the corresponding truth values of each label. So now it's going to be work, right? Working indicates 1. So if the working indicates 1, that means this should provide 1. To provide 1 from here, these 2 lines must have 1s. So to output 1 from this AND gate, these 2 must be 1 as well. So that means if the washing machine to be work, power should be on, door should be closed, water level sensor should indicate full. Right? Then only it is going to work. If any of these things become 0, these places are going to provide you a 0. So 0 means not working. All right. It doesn't matter which one is going to be a 0. Like if this produce a 0, that means it's going to become a 0 over here. So 0 goes through an AND gate means it is going to give you a 0. Right? And if the door sensor indicates 0, that means open. This is going to provide you a 0. That means this is going to be a 0. That means here it's going to be a 0 again. Right? So that means all the sensors, all these 3 sensors must provide 1 as the signal for the washing machine to be work. Right? So with that thing, it's easy to fill up the truth table. Only these three situations will give you a 1. Rest of the things is going to give you a 0. Okay, is that clear, everyone? Okay, great. So the marking goes, let's see the marking as well. Yeah, so this is the way the marking is going on. So yeah, to figuring out the P and Q are like these things, like the AND gate and the NOT gate. 1 mark, as I told you earlier. Right, and for the second part, Oh, this means the second part. Page number 11, and oh my God, this is page number 16. Okay, anyway, so the second part, you are going to have 1 mark as well. Let me take the singular answer script as well. All right, so yeah, so like from A to G, having it as 0, it's going to give you 1 mark with the marking of H as 1, right? So 1 mark for the part B as well. Right, that's how the 2 marks are being given on the part 2, right? Okay. Right. So moving to the third question. Okay, my little one is with me for a little while, people. So you'll be hearing some toddler sounds. Okay, now in the third question, it is talking about what is the main difference between waterfall lifecycle model and iterative incremental lifecycle model. I'm going to show you the answer script so you can find out what kind of advantages or like the differences, not the advantages. What are the differences in these 2 models, right? And it is asking about to list 1 advantage of iterative incremental lifecycle model. So as we know, the waterfall lifecycle model is kind of a restricted lifecycle model. The requirements must be clarified clearly at the beginning. Nothing can be changed during the implementation or like when the SDLC is happening, right? But the complete opposite goes with the iterative incremental model, right? It has like you can change the requirement during the process, right? And you can see the product, how it is being developed during the process, right? There are many. So let me show you the differences. So here are the differences. It says the main difference, it gives like this: activities of the each phase in waterfall lifecycle has to be completed before the starting next phase, while the activities of each phase will be partially completed on each phase of iterative incremental lifecycle, right? Or any similar answer. So if you have given this idea in your explanation, so that means you can have the marks. Just see it properly, people, whether you got it correctly. Right, so in part B, they are asking like the benefits of the iterative incremental model, right? So you can say like they have given you many different ones. So the first one, it says requirement does not need to be fully identified or defined, right? So as well as in the second part, user has the opportunity to see the partial system prototypes early and can provide feedback on prototypes, right? So any one of those. If you got any alternative answers, just let me know, right? So I'll tell you whether these things are okay. And there are more as well. Yeah, these things can also taken as the advantages. Bihansa, like if you say the system can be updated now, that's going to be a problem. Like when it comes to the system, if the system is updating, that belongs to the maintenance part, or like after we are done with the system, all right? So it's better you say like the what you call the system requirements, or the requirement for the system can be updated. Hold on a second, please. Right, so Vihansa, so it's better you say not like instead of the system, it's better you say the requirement can be updated time to time, right? Or like a requirement can be added, new requirement can be introduced, right? Likewise. Got it, Vihansa? Yeah, Himidri, I think you will have the answer from that clarification as well. Your one is correct, Himidri. That can be taken. Okay. Right. So moving to the next one. So it is asking, assume that desktop computer was purchased and you are asked to connect different peripheral devices. So yeah, in short form, they are asking like how we are going to like connect these things, right? So it's easy. Connect the LED display to the system. We need this particular video graphic adapter. And connect keyboard and the mouse. We can go with the USB port. Connect network cable. You can go with the network interface connector, or like the in simple terms the network port. Connect the power cable. We give you the right. So if you take it from the letters, so the task 1 goes with D, task 2 goes with C, task 3 goes with B, and the final one goes with A. Right, so if you got this correctly, 2 marks will be given. And the 5th part, consider the following praise before and after formatting using the word processing software. Assume that the font size of the praise has not been changed. Write down the word processing software tools required for the above formatting. Yeah, so you can see it is being bold. So the bold tool needed, right? As well as these are being italicized. So italic is needed. And you can see this ST has become like this. So it wants superscript. Right, so superscript has taken. So those 3 things. Let's go through the marking scheme as well. Yeah, bold, italic, superscript. So in this case, if you draw the icons, they have given the marks as well, like it shows here. Right, so be careful when you're answering these kind of questions, people. Like if you put anything extra, which is considered to be wrong. So you are not going to give any marks, right? So it should be either these three tools or some of these tools, right? If anything incorrect one is given here, you are not going to have the marks. Okay, so moving forward to the sixth question. Yeah, they are talking about the cloud computing, right? So they ask us to match the particular services, right? So again, infrastructure as a service. So it is kind of provide cloud, like it is the cloud is providing us the services for the infrastructure, like for the storage, right? Like for the network requirements, right? For the developing environments, right? So is going to go with Y because of the development factor is there. Software as a service, that means cloud is providing us particular softwares without installing into our computer. We can use it just by logging to the cloud. So it goes with the X, and the definitely pass is going to go with the Z, right? Provide facilities such as servers, network, storage, right? Which is going to be the platform, right? Hold on, my people. Hold on. Yeah, I think I have mixed it up. Hold on a minute. Provide necessary server environment for software development. Yeah. These two should be changed, people. Let's confirm it with the marking scheme as well. Infrastructure goes with this server, network, storage kind of things. Platform, yeah, it is goes with the Y, the development environment, the operating systems, those kind of things. So A for Z goes with the A, X goes with the B, and Y goes with the C. So yeah, Z for A, X for B, and Y for C. So the marks will be there, like 2 marks if all three things are correct. So if one is correct, only one is correct, 1 mark, 2 is correct, 1.5. If everything is correct, 2 marks are given. And the next one, following gives a different scenario label S1 to S4 that requires different communication methods. So they are asking identify the most suitable communication method for each of the above scenario from the list given below and write down the label, number and the communication method. Yeah. So a manager of a bank while in Sri Lanka joining a meeting held in their head office in India. So yeah, the most suitable way is like the video conference, right? So the video conference goes with S1. A secretary sending a soft copy of a report from her manager to all the employees working in different cities. Yeah, that could be done by the emailing. So S2 can be taken. Instance messaging is not a good way to send a report kind of a thing, people. All right. Email is much better. Third one, a technical officer sending a message to his manager informing that the machine has been repaired. Yeah, so like here, there are many ways that we can do it. So here, what we can choose is the instant messaging. A marketing manager sharing photos of a community service project and obtaining feedback from the customers as comments. So goes with these social networks, which means S4. Right. So let us confirm these things with the marking scheme. So S1 video conference, S2 emails, S3 instance messaging, S4 social networks. So 0.5 for each correct answer. So 2 marks are given. Question number 7. Actually, the part 7, right? So the 7th part, it says how many different colors can be represented if 10 bits per pixel is used as a color depth in an image. So 10 bits per pixel. So like if we take number of bits as a 2 to the power, then it will give us what are the number of colors that can be used regarding or using that kind of a pixel, right? So easily the answer is going to be 2 to the power 10, right? Because there are 10 bits per pixel. So if we take it as a 2 to the power, it will give us number of colors that we can use, or else you can say 1024, because 2 to the power 10 equals 1024, right? So the marking scheme shows you the same thing, 2 to the power 10, 1024. So 2 marks. Yes, Susan. Okay. Okay, careful. People, give me a second. Right, so the part 9 is about the flowchart. So it is talking about, consider the given flowchart that finds the product of an integer with all the integers below it. So it says if n is given integer, then the product 1 into 2 into 3 into n is going to give us the answer, right? So what they are asking is, write the correct expression for L and M, right? And later they ask if n is equals to 4, write down the final value of P and Q when the algorithm reaches the end. So now the algorithm is to calculate what? Something like this. So this is the number that we are entering into this, right? N is the user provided number, right? And in the first step, what it's going to happen is, according to the condition is always checking whether Q is larger than N, right? So Q is starts from 1, as well as P is starting from 1 as well, right? So what is going to happen is Q is going to increase up to the value N. So as well as it's going to multiply the answer for each and every iteration, right? So that means, as an example, if you provide 5 as the N, first it's going to calculate 1 into 1, right? So that equals to 1. Then it's going to calculate 1 into 2, gives you 2. It's going to calculate 2 into 3, gives you 6. Then it's going to calculate 6 into 4, equals 24. Then it's going to calculate 24 into 5, 120. All right, so now what is happening over here is that you are having a particular variable which is increasing starting from 1 to the point or like to the value which is given by the user. This is the user given value. So it is the one where this number is being increased. So it starts from a 1 and multiplied with the 1 for the first time. And then after, this particular answer is taken over here. And this value increased by 1, then do the multiplication. And again, this particular answer taken over here. This value increased by 1 and then done the multiplication. Right. Now, since the condition is checking whether Q is larger than N is the value that is given by the user. So Q is always checking whether it is larger than N. If it is not, these things are going to happen. So that means this is going to be the Q. It starts from 1 and it increases up to the user given value. And until then, it is always less than N. That means if we go to this condition, this should provide no. Right? So as the final answer, you are going to display the P. That's going to be this final value. Right? So that final value is made by multiplying the existing P by the value of this particular thing. So that means this acts as the P. At the initial point, it is 1. And then after, P is going to become the value of the answer. Right? These are going to be the P's. Right? So this particular one should be like P equals P into Q. Right? L is going to be like that. M is going to be Q equals Q plus 1. Right? So L is going to be P into Q. M is going to be Q plus 1 because these things are there in your answer. People, is that clear? Okay. So the let's go with the marking scheme as well. So they are saying P multiplied by Q. That is for the part L. M is going to be Q plus 1. So this is going to be the answer for the L. This is going to be the answer for the M. Right. So 1 mark is given if you figure out those two. And the second one is asking if the value of N is 4, what are the values for P and Q at the end? So Q is going to be 5 and P is going to be 24. Why it's going to be like that? If it is 4, what they are providing, so what will happen is 1 into 1 will happen equals 1. Then 1 into 2 is happen equals 2. 2 into 3 is happen equals 6. 6 into 4 is happen equal 24. Right? So then after, now 6 into 24 will be happen on this step. 6 into 4 will happen on this step. And then Q is going to increase. That means this 4 is going to become 5. Right? So the value of Q is going to be 5. This is going to be the value of P. Okay, is that clear, everyone? Yes, people? Is that clear? Okay. Right. So if you done that, you will be given another 1 mark. So 1 mark for the figuring out L and M, another 1 mark to figure out what are the values that the P and Q is going to take if the N equals 4. Okay, so the final part, yeah. So in the question, they are talking about something related to the database. So it says, consider the employee and division table given below. So in the first question, they are asking, assume that a new division named IT located in Colombo 3 is to be added. Write down the new record that has to be added and the corresponding table name. So if it is a division, it's going to go with the division table. If it is Colombo 3, address, the division location is going to be Colombo 3, right? So it will like IT over here. Division number is going to be 4 because it is the one which acts as the primary key. And the division location, it's going to be Colombo 3. Right, so the table name is the division table, and this is going to be the record. Then it says Saman and John works at stores. Fasal works at finance division. Raj recently joined to the IT division. Write down the correct values for the labels P to S. Yeah. Saman and John works at stores. So stores division number is 2. So Saman and John, that means Saman and John. So they are going to have 2 as the division ID. All right, and the other one is Fasal works at finance division. So finance, it has the division number 1. So Fasal, this is going to be the finance division. And Raj, they have come up with the IT division. So that means 4, right? Yeah. No one's for the sales. Yeah, no one's for the sales. Right, so P is 2, Q is 4, R is 2, and S is 1. Yeah, so this is the division table, and right in the particular record, you're going to give you 1 mark. And again, the labels which is from P to S, it's going to be P is 2, Q is 4, R is 2, and S is 1. Right, so again, 1 mark. So that is how 2 marks are given to that particular section. So first question is done. There are 10 parts, a 20 marks question. See how much you got out of 20. People, I'm running with the power cut, right? So my battery level is not, it's not that low, but yeah, in case if this got off, I'm going to be there from my tab. So stay in the session, people, right? Still it has some battery life, even though my battery is not in a good health. It's suddenly off, right? In case if it off, just stay, I'm going to come through the tab, right? Okay, so the second one, let's go for the board. So the second question, it is the, is it the Excel question? No, right? No, yes. Yeah, so the they have given some health issues as well as possible reasons, and you are asked to connect the health issues with the possible reasons, and they have said something special in here inside the note. Okay, power is back, so no worries. Right, so it says there can be more than one possible solution for a given health issue. However, you are required to write only one solution, right? So the health issues are there, possible reasons are there, possible solutions are there, right? So you have to match all three things, right? So if it is carpal tunnel syndrome, that means A, the issue is A, goes with the reason, yeah, painful compression of a nerve as it passes across the front of the wrist. So A goes with H. And the reasons, you can tell me. You can take Q as one of the reasons. So if you got these three combination, you're going to have the marks. If it is not Q, you can take R, take irregular breaks. And S for sure. Also, you can take it as T. Yeah, those kind of things. Let's go with the marking scheme, people. Easier and much faster. Yeah, these are the ways. So health issue is A, possible reason is H. Solutions are going to be one of these things, right? You only need to have one of these things in your answer script. So then you will be given the particular mark. So for one particular row, it's just one mark. Right? So the B, health issue, goes with the reason I, and the solutions, the variables. Right, so goes with PR, VW, so any one of those can be taken. And for the reason C, or the issue C, has the possible reason G. It has only two reasons, either Q or the R. Right, so if you got all these three lines correct, you can take 1 mark for each line. So 3 marks will be given in total. Give me a second. All right. Moving to the second part. So it is asking, for each of the issues labeled from A to D below, identify the relevant term from the list. Write down the term against each relevant label. Okay. So a person receiving an email that appears to have come from the well-known organization and asking for personal information such as the credit card number, the username, and the password. This is what you call phishing, right? So phishing goes with A. The practice of taking someone else's work and publishing them off as one's own. Yeah, so this is called plagiarism, which goes with B. A person having unauthorized access to a computer network and accessing personal information such as name, address of customers. So yeah, this is kind of a theft, right? So yeah. Fair use, not the fair use. Forgery, it's an illegal stuff. Hacking, not like this. Piracy and spam. Yeah, now that's not a very good thing. Okay, let's keep the C and go for the D. A person selling unauthorized copies of the licensed softwares. Yeah, this is definitely piracy, which we can choose for D. And unauthorized access. Yeah, since it says computer network, you can go with the hacking. But it's better it could clarify much clearer. Right, so anyway, for A, it's phishing, B is plagiarism, C is hacking, D is piracy. Let's confirm it with the marking scheme as well. Yeah, best phishing, plagiarism, hacking, and piracy. Right, so 4 marks. So that is how the marks have been divided over here. So 3 marks for the first 3 answers and 4 marks for the last 4 answers in the part B. So the next part, oh yeah, here they have missed that one as well. Yeah, let me go with the paper. Oh, hold on. Did we complete all the things? Oh no, hold on, people. I think I have settings, the markings were wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry, people. For the first part, they have given 6 marks. So they say 1 mark for each for correct mapping of health issues and possible reasons. Yeah. So like that means, yeah, for these 3 couples, it got separate 3 marks. For the reasons, they got another 3 marks. That is how it happens. Okay, so second question is done. We're going for the third one. The HTML question, much easier one. Okay, so the tips for health life, it is there. Yeah. Yeah, the heading is italicized. It's been it's a header one as well as a little bit italicized. So the first one is going to be the italic. Right, the image, it is being center aligned. Right, so we can take 2 as center and 3 as SRC, fourth one as ALT. All right, and the fifth, what is there? Yeah, for fifth, it's going to be the unordered list, because these things are having the unordered list bullets, right? So inside that, we can see how the rest of the things are going to go. Right, and yeah, fifth one is going to be the unordered list, UL, and the sixth is going to be a table, definitely. Right, then okay, this is going to be the anchor tag, the sixth one. I'm sorry, the sixth, seventh. And the eighth and the seventh. So the 8 is going to be SUB, subscript, because the number 2 over here, it should be staying below the normal level or normal font line to indicate H2O, which is the water. So yes, that's how these things happen. Let's go with the marking scheme as well. So here it goes. Yeah, it says first one is I, second one is center, third one SRC, fourth one ALT, fifth one UL, sixth one table, and the seventh, it is anchor tag, 8, it is subscript, which means SUB. So it is given 4.5 marks. So the last part saying this is subscript, it has a correct or like a extra 0.5. Right, so 4.5 marks. And here in the second part, I'll go with the marking scheme as well. It has given you a very big URL and ask you to name the components, which starts from P, goes until V. So P is the protocol, the HTTP, and the Q, that is the World Wide Web, right? Or you can say the service, but since there is no any service over here, you can go with the World Wide Web. R is the domain name, which is the www.edupub.gov.lk. S is the top level domain, and T is the path to the resources, and U, it is the resource, and the entire thing is called a URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Right, so 3.5 marks in here. So the earlier part took 4.5. This gives you 3.5, which is altogether 8 marks. So the last one, so they have given a list. So they are asking you to match those lists with the particular description. All right. So let me check it from here. Yeah. Oh. Where can we find the list? Oh, are they referring to the same? Yes, the same thing. So it says delivers web pages to the client using HTTP. So that is a web server. Right, helps uniquely identify a computer on the internet. That is the DNS server, domain name system server. Right, so let me write the things. Since it needs the scrolling, I'll go with the market scheme people. So the first one is the web server. Second one is the IP address, not the DNS. It's not translating anything. The third one, it's a mail server. And the last one, unwanted email, it is called a spam mail. Right, so for A it is web server, B it is IP address, C it is mail server, D it is spam mail. Right, so yeah. So it's kind of having 0.5 for each part, right? There was some problem in that marking scheme since the Tamil one was not properly printed, but since we are doing it now, let's just have 0.5 for each mark. So 2 marks. So see how much you got out of 10. All right, people, how is it so far? Is it clear? Any questions? All right. So moving forward to the fourth question. It says consider spreadsheet segment given below containing prices of 2 models of laptops, computer, and their accessories. The delivery cost is 350, which is given in cell B10. Total and the total including delivery cost are to be calculated for the 2 models. Yeah, so it is asking write down the formula that should be entered in cell B6 to calculate the total for model A in the form of this. Yeah, so it's easy. So they're asking about the total of the model A. That means total of these things. They're asking us to write it for B6. So right, the total of these 3 things. This is going to be the total. So it's going to be equal sum B3 colon B5. Right, so that is the answer for the first question. And the second part, B part, if this formula is copied to the cell C6, what value will be displayed? So they are asking about what is the value, what value, right? So value is going to be the addition of these 3 things, right? So it's going to be how much? 71,000, 72,000, 73,250, right? Yeah. All right. So the value it's going to be 73,255. That's all, right? Don't put any other symbols or any other things, right? So 7,300, 200, 73,250 is going to be the answer. So 1.5 can be taken. Okay, so for part C, they are asking to calculate this thing with the delivery charge. Right, so write down two formulas that can be written in cell B7. Cell B7 means over here. So B7 to calculate the total including delivery cost using only cell addresses, function, and arithmetic operations. All right, so yeah. So you can write it simply what? Right, we can write it like this, equals sum B7 comma B10, and if by assuming that will be copied to the other column as well, you can write it like this as well, sum B7 comma $B $10, right? Or else $10. I'm sorry, $B10, right? Don't go for $10 because it won't make any differences for the this particular equation, right? Or you can simply say equals B7 plus B10, right? So you can go with any of these, and there are many possibilities. Yeah, so look at how they have said it. So any equation from this big list will give you the marks. Vihansa, let me see. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Vihansa, your answers are there, right? This is one of your answers, right? And hold on, the B6 is not there. It's yeah. I like yeah, that is correct. That is correct, Vihansa. No worries. Okay. Moving to the other part. So now they are asking, write down two formulas that can be written in cell B7 to calculate the total including delivery cost using only the cell addressers, function, and arithmetic operations. Now, here it's better be careful. Now, what they're asking is this particular, the function that is written over here is copied into this, if it is going to copy. How the formula, like how the particular expression should be there. Right? So, since it is going to copy, since this value is like in a one particular position, it's not going to count. Not going to count means like it's not going to, it should not change relative. It should be an absolute one. So that means the dollar sign must be there. Right? So in the part C, you have given many alternative answers, but in part D, only these things. It is because we should know like what is happening when we are copying a particular equation from one cell to another. According to your requirement, you need to decide whether these things need to be keep in absolute or not. Right? Right, it's according to your requirement. Now, according to this question, 350 is going to be there alone. Okay, so any answer from these four formats will give you the marks. If you got any alternative answers, just let me know. Then I'll go through and tell whether that can be taken or not. The answer can be taken, no worries. Okay, moving to the next part. So here they are just asking what kind of views that they have. Right, so the first one is called the title slide. This is for A. No, what happened? Okay, so this goes with A. Next one is like what the title and two contents. Two contents, right? This goes with B. And blank slide goes with C. And title only goes with D. So see how much you got out of 10. Yeah, there is a B part as well. Which of the following views is most suitable to arrange the positioning of slides? Yeah, definitely the slide sorter, because slide sorter is the one which allow us to arrange the slides on a presentation in a quicker manner. Right, so that can be taken. So the marks has given to them right? Like I'll come from the beginning. For the first part, it's 1.5. For the second part, it is 1.5 again. For the part C, it is 2 marks for 2 equations. And for the part D, I told you that only these kind of answers can be taken as the correct ones. So 1.5 is given. For the second part, having the connection correctly, so 0.5 for each part, so 2 marks is given. And finding the correct view mode, or to figuring out the slide sorter, 1.5 marks. Right, so see how much you got out of 10. Okay, so the fifth question. So it's the database related question. So you got sales table, category table, and branch table. So they are talking about these canteens, right? Yeah. So the first question is about write down 2 primary keys and their respective table names here. Now, these are the common questions. So for sales table, it's we can't take the shop ID alone, month alone, because shop ID repeats in these 3 positions. Month, yeah, it repeats over here. So that means these 2 things together can be taken as. And for the category table, category. For the branch table, shop ID. Right, so you only need 2 things, only like primary keys of 2 particular tables. Right, so in the marking scheme it says, yeah, so it's better be careful to write the particular table name, then after the primary key or the primary key or the composite primary. So branch table, it is shop ID, category table, it is category, sales table, it is month and shop ID. Right, and yeah, the second part is talking about 2 foreign keys, right? So how we are going to recognize the foreign keys? So now here, the primary key of the branch table is shop ID. You can find a shop ID over here as well. So in sales table, shop ID is a foreign key, right? And a category inside the branch table is a foreign key. Right, so it should go like that. So 2 marks will be awarded. Then what table should be modified to include the telephone number of each shop? Telephone number of each shop is kind of a shop related detail, right? So definitely it's the branch table that is need to be updated. So in the marking scheme, yeah, it says branch table. 1 mark is given. Right, and the question is asked, which table should be joined to run a query to find out the total sales at the ABC college? So if you want to find the total sales of the ABC college, so first of all, what you are going to do is like, yeah, hold on. Yeah, total sales of the ABC college. So first of all, you have to figure out what is the ABC college, and you have to figure out the shop ID. So from the shop ID, we have to figure out what are the corresponding sales, right? So now you can see we need this table to this table, right? So like these two tables need to be there to figure out the answer, right? So for the fourth one, it should be the sales table and the branch table. Yeah, so those two. So they have given you a particular transaction in the next part. It says, assume that a new shop with shop ID 004 selling milk and photocopying services is open at HIJ College. What table needs to be updated to include the given information? So milk and photocopy is a new category, people, because we don't have anything called milk and photocopy. We got ice cream and milk, we got milk and stationery. So definitely in the category table, there should be a new category, which is called D, and milk and photocopy should be there. Right, and since it is assigned to the HIJ College, so there's a new branch. That means there should be another record saying the college name, and the shop ID is going to be 004, and the category is going to become D. Right, so let's cross check with the this one. Some sweets. Right, people, sorry for that. And yes, this is the way. So for the fourth part, it's the sales table and branch table going to be the answer. And the for the fifth part, it's the branch table and the category table. So they're asking what should be the values, or like the entries. So these are going to be the entries: HIJ College 004D, and in category table D, milk and photocopy. So 2 marks is given for the sixth part. 2 marks is given for the fifth part as well. And 1 mark for the fourth. And 1 mark for the third. And for the first 2 parts, it's 2 marks for each part. So that's how the 10 or the total 10 is given. Right. People, how was the situation so far? Is it clear? Okay, great. Yes, go like this. Okay, hold on. So yes. Yeah, my seventh question. Wait, Suzu. Yes, okay, that is doing the thing. Then after I go for it, right? Okay, so the last question is missing in my paper. So I'll go with the marking scheme, people.
Go. This you tag. It's a little plain for you.
Ouch.
It's perfect for me.
Okay.
And my dolly.
Okay.
I had it for her necklace.
Oh, unfortunately, my two marking schemes are not good. Sahara, that is disturbing. Right. Okay, people, let's do it like this. Since the time is up, we'll discuss this on next week, plus the MCQ of the 2019. Right. So since the question is not here, I'll arrange the question, then we can discuss, right? So yeah, so I'll see you all next week to discuss the last question of the 218 and the first paper of the 219. Right. Okay. So thank you very much. I'm going to end the session from here just for today. Right. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Buddha. Thank you.